the Right Now or Akron Beacon Journal. Yeah, JB, just with Koby getting the extension, just how excited are you? Just what does this mean? You know, you talked about your partnership before, but what do you think this means for the franchise?
I mean, it means a lot. You know, it's the consistency that you aim for in any successful organization. You know, I've yet to see an organization, you know, that's constantly in flux have any sustainable success. You know, so, you know, having Koby around for as long as he's been around, and, you know, what you appreciate the most is the opportunity for him to finish his plan. You know, obviously after the finals appearances, you know, there was a plan that was put in place. You know, and our league is a very impatient league. So it speaks a lot to the caliber of, you know, ownership and leadership that they're giving Koby the runway to finish out his vision. And you know, obviously, you know, there's been a lot of lumps taken to get to where we are now, where we feel like we're on solid footing, but still with room to grow with the group of guys that Koby has assembled and put together. So I couldn't be happier for him. You know, he deserves it. He works his tail off. He leads us in the right way. You know, he's helped create an environment and a culture of positive energy and togetherness. And we feel that every day. So I couldn't be more excited for him.
And just one more thing real quick about, you know, he seems like he's learned how to adapt. Like you lost Rubio, you get Ron, you know, do you see him growing a little bit as far as, you know, putting things together on, I mean, kind of on the fly?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's growth. I say it's his, you know, his willingness and ability to execute his plan. You know, obviously when we went out and acquired Ricky, we knew how important he would be to this team. And then, you know, when Ricky goes down, there's a void that needed to be filled. And then you look at his ability, you know, to execute a deal and get something done to help the team's momentum because of, you know, what direction we're heading in. So, you know, I don't necessarily call it growth. I call it his ability to execute his plan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tim Beal at Cleveland.com. JB, since Evan Mobley's come back from the health and safety protocols, one thing that stands out is in the fourth quarter, it seems like the last 8 games or so, he's been a guy who's been getting about half of his assists in the fourth quarter. What are you seeing out of him from, you know, back, you know, just when he came out of the protocols that you had to have him do because there were certain guys out, to what he's being able to do now when you have everybody back and what you're starting to trust him to do with the ball in his hands in the fourth quarter?
Well, I think that's what it is. It's that level of trust that he's going to make the right decision when the ball is in his hands. And not only from my standpoint, but from his teammates' standpoints. His teammates seek him out, you know, when the games are close or when the games are on the line, to put the ball in his hands because of that trust. And that says a lot about him. You know what I mean? Like, to earn that trust, you know, this quickly is difficult to do for most rookies. You know, for guys to believe that when the game matters most, that you're going to be the one that makes the right decision, that's hard to accomplish. And you see his teammates time and time again put the ball in his hands and to make those plays. And, you know, more times than not, he's successful.
You've got, obviously, you know what he got with Garland in the fourth quarter. You're starting to know what he got with Ruby on those situations. How important has it been to, you know, start to have Mobley become kind of that secondary playmaker that you need in those situations when, you know, obviously fourth quarter is winning time and you can't just put the ball in one guy's hands. You need to have multiple guys who can do that. How important has it been for Evan to start to become that guy?
I mean, it's, you know, the league comes down to skill and playmaking ability at this point. And the closer the games are, the further you get in the season, you know, that's what it comes down to. And the more guys you can put on the floor who can play make, the better off you're going to be. So, you know, just adding him and the places that you can get him the ball, right? You can pair him with Darius and make defenses have to make toughest decisions. You know, are they going to put 2 on Darius, which leaves Evan with the ball in his hand in an advantageous position? Or, you know, do they stay with Evan? Now Darius gets to go to work. So I think those are the things that we're starting to explore more is the partnerships and pairings on the floor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, JB. Hope you're doing all right. First off, using Serena's word of surprise, what would you say has surprised you about your crew this year?
I mean, just in building team, how quickly chemistry came for this group. Normally it takes time to get to where we are from a chemistry standpoint. The way you watch guys interact with one another, the way they treat one another, the way they cheer for one another. I thought we got there really quickly. And, it's a testament to our guys' character. The basketball stuff, I think, we're still a work in progress and figuring some of that stuff out. But we've exceeded my expectations on the chemistry as quickly as it came.
And then if I could take you back a few years, can you give us some insight to what it's like to be with Mike Conley every day?
Awesome. I don't think I ever saw Mike Conley have a bad day. I don't think I ever heard or saw him have anything negative to say about any circumstances. No matter the scenario we were in, like he was one of the guys that I could always count on to lift everybody else up. He's got a certain spirit to him that people just want to be around him. When things are going bad, like Mike is the guy that people gravitate to just because of his personality. So, nobody more deserving of all the accomplishments that he's had, on the court, off the court. I can't say enough good things about Mike. He helped me through some dark times and saved me for a long time. So Mike is my man for sure.
Thank you, JB.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Coach. Chris of Salta says DNA Grace. Hope you're doing well. Coach, those type of games against playoff caliber teams like Utah Jazz, what type of challenge for you guys is about your growth as a team?
You need to see where you stand against those caliber of teams. You need to see if your best is good enough. And then you need to see where, where you can improve based on those nights. So, these are great tests for us. These guys are battle tested. And, they know how to win when it matters most. They've got individuals who can do that. And as a team, they're always well coached and well prepared. Quinn does a fabulous job with his teams all the time, game to game and series to series. So it's an overall test for our group to see where we're at, to see areas that we're good at, and then see areas where we need to improve as well.
And also, how satisfied you are about the chemistry between Evan, Lowry, and Jarrett Allen on the floor?
I think it's been really good. I think we're still growing together. They're still learning each other. Obviously through the injuries and, the COVID stuff, there was some time missed. So we're trying to work some of that stuff back together, but their willingness to do it together, play together, and help one another has made it easy.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
Last one on Zoom to Maxwell. Hey, Coach. Maxwell Rendy from Back Sports Page. I was wondering, in 4 of the last 5 games, the team's 3-point percentage has been lower than 30%. How big of a concern is this for you, and how are you and your staff working on improving it?
Obviously it helps to make shots, but I think we're creating the right shots. I don't think we're taking, highly contested shots. I don't think we're taking individual one-on-one 3-point shots. Like, I think we're moving the ball and doing a great job of that and creating the shots we want. We need to make shots. There's no doubt about it in order to help ourselves. But again, we're getting on the right way. Coaches spend a ton of time individually working with guys on the shots that they're going to get in the game, on their form, on their technique, and all those things. So we just have to continue to do that, and then continue to let the guys shoot the ball with confidence and not make it a mental game as well. Well, that's what it comes down to, is the long ones. And, it can't be the big guys' jobs to solely be the ones on the glass. Those long shots end up in long rebounds. So, we have to have a wing, a perimeter, a guard, come up with 6-7 defensive boards. And that should be an advantage for us if they do, because now we get the rebound going forward and it starts our transition. So, obviously our big guys have to compete on the glass, but our smalls have to be prepared to protect those guys just like they want them to be protected. Yeah, I think what's helped him is how steady he is, and how dependable he is. And that gives guys trust. Like with Evan, you don't see these big swings of ups and downs like you see with a lot of rookies. Like he plays pretty much at this level all the time. And to me, that's where that trust is built. You don't see him have like wild, erratic plays even. And I think that's where guys see like, oh, we can trust him. We can depend on him because he is stable and dependable.